Good night, everyone, and welcome back to the Nocturnal Corner with Bat. In today's Epic Weapon Showcase, we are going to be looking at the Dawn's Children version of the Equalizer, the Aurora Energy Weapon. This thing is going to be on par with the Equalizer in many departments. However, there is going to be some differences. The main difference is that this one shoots a laser while the other one shoots bullets, and things with bullets tend to have a bloom. This thing is going to be pinpoint accuracy like the Destructor. However, the Equalizer has a much better range. This thing's range actually peaks at 100 meters or maybe even a little further, but at 150 this thing cannot hit anything, so the Equalizer has a beat in range. The barrel spin up is also on this weapon, and it's going to be on par with the Equalizer. The other two things that is in par with the Equalizer is it's going to have the cooldown and overheating is going to be exactly the same, to where its overheat is going to be a little quick, but its cooldown is going to be decently fast, so you're probably going to want more radiators than coolers with this weapon. Now, one of the other drawbacks is the Equalizers will do more damage per shot versus this one. This one, yes, you can definitely get all your shots in, but you'll notice a significant drop in damage. That's because this is a support weapon, where the ability is not accumulating more damage for specifically the weapon, but basically supporting other weapons, including itself, by overheating the part. So think of flamethrowers, the incinerators, the instructors, even like that, to where over time it's going to heat up that part, and when it reaches max it's going to be 100% more damage. So in that department, yes, this one is going to take one more energy point compared to the Equalizer's 3. But if you are running 4 Equalizers, yes, you're going to have the damage of 4, but if you have this thing and you're actually accurate and leaving the pain train on the enemy, once this thing hits that max, think of having the equivalent of 6 Equalizers versus 4, but it's going to be kind of over time, kind of like the Catalina, to where eventually you'll get that max damage. That's kind of how the way to look at it. Now, this thing is going to be a little bit harder to build around if you're using just regular wheels or tracks. If you are running Omni wheels, hovers, whatever, obviously you can put them on the sides and you can have that mouse aim. But if you don't do that, this barrel is actually lower than the Equalizer, so even if you put that slim bumper underneath it, you're actually giving yourself a dead zone in the middle of it, to where it's going to prop the barrel up and then you can't actually shoot down anymore. So keep that in mind. This thing, the hitbox of this thing is not going to be like the Equalizer, so if you build too close or whatnot, the weapon can't turn, or you're going to give this weapon a dead zone to where you're not going to be able to properly aim. Now, durability, this is going to be less than the Whirl. The Whirl had like 500 or like 480 whatnot. This one's going to be a lot less. It's going to be 300, so you got to keep in mind this thing. You want to keep moving. You want to stay behind your teammates, definitely, because this weapon can pop off rather easily. But the fire rate's great, the cooldown's great, and eventually you're going to be doing a decent amount of damage with this baby. So now that I said all of that, yes, there's a lot of bonuses to this thing, but you got to keep in mind, if you're running all Auroras, you're probably not going to be doing much damage like if you're running all Equalizers, so keep that in mind. Support weapon. However, if you do that, you kind of want to try to be in sync with your teammates a little bit, because unlike things like the trombone or the incinerator, to where they're going to be heating up a lot of the build, which can help more of your allies, so say if they have cannons or auto cannons with the explosive shells or whatnot, this thing isn't really going to provide that much coverage. This is, like I said, pinpoint accurate, so it's going to be specifically heating up those parts. And unlike the trombone where it explodes on there, or the incinerator where it burns up everything, this one's going to have a bit slower rate of heating. So you got to kind of keep that in mind. This is a support weapon that is more tailored to the user rather than supporting your team, but you can definitely do that, and I'm sure your team is going to end up seeing the parts turn orange, so it's not going to be too bad. It's just something to keep in mind. So now I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to show you basically the overheat and the cooldown with the Equalizer. See? Not too bad. It's a little fast up there, but that cooldown is actually decently quick. Now I'm going to show you the range of this bad boy, so that way you can try to keep in mind where you want to be shooting. Is it great with auto cannons? Absolutely. Machine guns, miniguns? Absolutely. Hell, you can use this thing with helioses. You can use it with basically anything. It's heating up to support whatever loadout you want. So at that 50 meters, obviously it can get there. At that 100, obviously you can get there. Now that 150, you can see it is not hitting, so you really want to try to keep that in mind. So now that we demonstrated all of this, let's get into looking at our builds. Alright guys, so these 4 on the top are going to be our 4 builds today, starting from right to left. The first one is going to be Bullying by SPL Pro. This is probably going to be my favorite or second favorite build that is going to be out here. I only had to do one modifying thing to this, and that was change out those middle wheels, but I managed to keep the claws, the photon, the armor, and everything the same. This build is actually fantastic. Having those weapons up here like this gives them complete free range, and the armor actually makes these things rather survivable, so as long as you're not getting gunned down by machine guns and whatnot, these things will stay on there pretty well. And these little dead zones right here, you will actually tank damage that you will be hitting more than you realize. So how this dude made this build, he did a great job, and it's almost like he was very experienced with this thing. And this thing comes with the total package that you want for the Auroras, and that is Photon, claw wheels, and Hertz. Because let's be honest, this thing is the equivalent of the Equalizer, so it's going to be the energy support weapon of the Equalizer, but it's going to have the same playstyle that if you're going to run multiple Auroras and try to be a support, you're going to try to be a stripper weapon if you want to be a damager. So you have 2 type of playstyles you want to do with this thing, and the first one is obvious. You're going to be wanting to support your team, so stick with the build and try to heat up the parts that he's aiming for, and I'm sure he's going to see the heat up and aim at those parts. But if you're really going to be going in here trying to like do something with these weapons, your best bet is to treat it as like an Equalizer and go for the parts. And you can see this thing can rip parts off rather quickly with those claw wheels and the Hertz. Since you're getting those damage boosts from all 3 of these, this is gonna be almost on par with other Equalizers and whatnot. And I've actually beat out Equalizer builds with this thing, because this thing, if you're accurate, you have that advantage over those said weapons, because this thing is going to get those damages in rather easily. So, you know, if you're a destructor user and you're really good at keeping that beam on them, this is a weapon that if you want to have some fun, and I got to admit, this is actually a fun combination to do as long as you're not going too high. It's again, and it's something that I say about most of these epics, is as long as you're not going too high with all Equalizers, this thing can do pretty solidly at like 10 and lower power score. So, fantastic build. This is going to be a recommendation from me if you want to run 3 Equalizers. Next up is going to be Photon Aurora by Riley Madvillain. This is going to be another rather decent build, having them in the back, decently armored, on the sides to actually prevent, you know, them getting shot off with that weak durability of 300. And since they have the Omni wheels, obviously you're getting that mouse aim, which is going to greatly help you, because you want to try to be as accurate as possible since it's point accurate. Now this one is missing one of the yeses. It doesn't have the claw wheels on it, and that makes sense because you want to, you know, have that mobility. Even though with the Photon it is a little slow compared to, say, like the Cami or something like a light cabin, but it's still going to give you some better survivability when you can dodge cannon shots and whatnot by strafing. And you know, it still has Hertz, so you can still maintain that stripping prowess with this weapon. This is going to be another rather solid build, but probably not going to be my recommendation, but still a great one nonetheless. The next one. This one is probably going to be the least power score, and you're probably thinking that this might be the one that shines the most. But actually, this is probably the worst one, and the one that I wouldn't recommend at all, just because I was trying to keep this as close as possible. I didn't have the lunar wheels, so I had to change them out to all like APC wheels, or I think it was all chain wheels. But you can see it's like it's okay on speed. It feels a little sluggish. And you can see one of the big issues right there in the front. I had to modify this one a little bit more even. I had to take off that strainer because you can see the Aurora in the front. Even though there's nothing touching it, it can't aim down. And that's what I was talking about with the hitbox. And you can see those are those bumpers I was telling you about. You see it? The one in the middle Aurora. There's a dead zone right there that's forcing you to aim upwards. So I didn't fix that part, but you can definitely see that it is messing this one up a little bit. It is nice to have the invisibility module, but you're probably not going to be wanting to play flank with this thing. More of you're going to be using it to get out of situations, and you're really going to want to try to strip the enemy's weapon while also supporting your teammate. So that's the best way to actually think about this, is a stripping supporter. A stripper for the military, basically. So, let's go to our next one. This is also going to be my other favorite. I don't really know which one I thought I liked more, either this one or this bad boy over here. This one is going to, oh yeah, by the way, this is the, I don't want to forget, not trying to be no disrespect to you, dude. I know I said your build kind of sucks. And honestly, the main reason that this build kind of sucks, and it's not because I had to really fix it, it's because I didn't change the armor on it. But for whatever reason, if this thing takes any damage, it just falls apart. Like, this thing, you'll see what I mean. Like, maybe not in the video, I don't think I really showed how bad it was. But this thing took like one cannon shell and all of this was just gone. Like, everything was just gone. And even, it wasn't even just cannons. Like, if I was taking even a little bit of auto cannon fire or whatnot, it was just falling apart. So I am sorry, Mick RT, but you got the worst build here, buddy. And also, I thought it was kind of funny that he, Aurora, nope, see, Aurora, like, yeah, that one. But this is going to be, like I said, another great one. This one is going to have not all the yeses. It's going to have the one yes with just the Photon cabin. It's playing around that 8K power score. But because of the mobility and the survivability of this thing, and how you can easily get into situations to where, since it has those 4 hovers, it actually gets to areas pretty quick, and you can get out of situations pretty quick. And, you know, it actually can take a little bit of punishment before you lose a hover, which is pretty good. And they actually weren't taking off the Auroras as much as you'd think they would. Now, I don't want to give this guy any discredit either. This is user blueprint 2. He obviously didn't name it. This one's going to be by Salim Adil 16AA. You got a great build here, dude. I mean, it's simple, but it's very effective. And I was having a blast playing with this one, actually. I am missing the fuel tank, but I would have taken it off anyways. And like I said, you can see this thing has probably the fastest acceleration of all of them. It's not giving me that full 90 kms, because, you know, it is not going as fast with the Photon cabin. But it was solid. I don't think I changed anything on this. I was just missing that sticker and the tank, but I would have taken off the tank anyways just so I can play fully just the build. So these are going to be the 4. This one, I would say if you want just pure fun, this is the one to go. But if you want fun and actually effectiveness, the bullying is the way to go. So anyways, guys, that's going to be our 4 runners up here. And if you like this video, maybe give it a like and subscribe. I would be greatly appreciated. Maybe even if you find this informative, give it a like, because I'm doing this for you guys. Any weapon you want to see, just let your boy know and I'll make a video for you. So that's going to be it today. I hope you find your favorite pot on the ceiling with your little bag of popcorn, and I hope that you guys have a great night, everyone. Thanks for watching. I see Crossout decided to do summer in Florida. Feel just at home with this weather. Alright, we got 2 guys in the center. Wait. Alright, they're gonna try to come flank him. That's not... Get him, yes! Fuck that guy. Alright, who's next? Is that a dog? No, let me give you the support. Oh shit, now I'm getting turned up. Okay. Oh shit. Whoa! Oh my god. This fire is lasting. Okay, the biggest threat is right here. Oh, disarmed! Yes! We got a teammate all the way back there. Wait, that has to be Brian. One of them is a mine layer. There we go. Oh my god, that corpse is heavy. Like, holy shit, did you see how heavy that fucking corpse was? Damn. Alright. That was good. Helicopter. I guess the helicopter wants to fly, goddamn. Go, Michael. Oh, God. Oh, cool. Not stealth tank. I don't want to deal with that shit. Disarmed. Alright. Emma's rushing in, like always. Great job, Emma. Hell no. Bro, get that shit away from me. Michael! Holy hell, Michael! Oh. Really? Yeah. All you did was take off armor, bitch. I don't need that. I'll free ball. Shit, I don't want to free ball. Stop. Oh, come on. Now he's targeting. You got all my team right there, boy. You better shoot their ass. You know what? I'm gonna keep helping. Support! Support! Wait, CD gun. Shit. I need to get... I just don't want to get shot. There we go. There we go. Oh my god. The energy guys do not like me in this game, but you know what? That is okay. Yo, really? Ah!